Well, that is right, my friends. You are listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. You know, we don't do themes on this program, but it appears that the radical left and those in positions of power might do themes. Themes of craziness, themes of ridiculousness, and we'll talk about some of those today. Email, by the way, todd@toddhuffshow.com, facebook.com/Todd Huff. Excuse me, no. Todd@toddhuffshow.com. What am I talking about? See, autopilot when I'm looking for something here. We're on Facebook, too. We're on Facebook, but the email address is todd@toddhuffshow.com, streaming on our website, toddhuffshow.com as well, and on various social media platforms, as long as our friends at social media, those social media companies allow us to be on their platforms. By the way, I'm going to have Oz tell Oz right now, keep an eye out for Puxatawny Phil. Oz, I think he's supposed to be looking for his shadow here in the next 26 minutes. Both the most meaningless of the holidays and the most somewhat entertaining to me to see that furry little dude being held up by some guy in a top hat. And I don't know, was that what we're doing this year with the coronavirus? Can you get COVID from a groundhog? Should the groundhog be masked? These are things that I need to know, and I will pass along to you as soon as I see it. By the way, did you see Fauci? I gotta tell you, this guy is literally too much for me. Now he's out there. I'll play you this soundbite. I wasn't planning to do this just yet. But now Fauci, and I want to be fair, if you listen to what he says, I don't know that I would call it a flip-flop. But remember, this guy back a year ago told us that masks were largely symbolic and that we don't need to wear masks in the middle of a pandemic. That's an important part to point out, because some people say, hey, Todd, it was the beginning of the pandemic. Well, he made it sound like he said in the middle of a pandemic, you don't need to be worrying about a mask, and touching that mask, you might actually do more damage than not. Now masks are basically, we're to the point, if you don't wear a mask, you're considered a threat. You're not a patriot. You are trying to kill people around you, and that's what some people will say about you if you don't have your mask on at all times and in all places. Then Fauci last week, I don't want to go through the whole evolution of Fauci's position on the mask, but he's been from masks are symbolic and really meaningless, but if you want to wear one, I guess it's your prerogative, but it's really not helping anything. In fact, it's probably hurting people. Now it is, we've gotten to the point where masking may be better if you have two of them on, right? We have two of them on, but why not? If you have one on, that works. Maybe two works better. He said it stands to reason, and it seems like common sense. It seems like common sense that if one works, then a second physical layer would even help more. Right? That's what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said last week, which we had some fun with that. And some of you wrote to me and said if 2 is good, then 3 is better, and 4. I mean, this could go on and on and on. I mean, where do we stop with this? Anyway, so now Fauci's out there, and he's talking about a second mask, and he says this.
There are many people who feel, if you really want to have an extra little bit of protection, maybe I should put 2 masks on. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's no data that indicates that is going to make a difference. And that's the reason why the CDC has not changed the recommendation.
Oh, so we're waiting here for the CDC to recommend 2 masks. I don't put it past them, by the way. Again, I think we should look long and hard and see where these government officials, do they have stock in a mask company? That might be the first place to look. If they do, you might want to get ready for a second mask. The people at Robinhood, these investor groups, wherever they've gone now, they might want to look at buying stock in masks as well because of this kind of talk. But in fairness, he didn't flip, but he actually said for the first time there's no data, right? There's no data to support this. Well, Okay. There's no data to support this. Suddenly, I guess science prevails again instead of just Fauci up there spouting what he believes to be common sense by using two masks at one time. Which again, I'm telling you, if you know someone, or if someone's tuned in this morning that really wants to, ask yourself, what action can I take today to make it look like I am morally superior to the rest of civilization, to the rest of society? Put a second mask on. You're going to get virtual high fives from liberals all over the place. Some virtual fist bumps, some nods, whatever else the radical left does to show that they are in agreement with your position on wearing two masks. Just a public service announcement. What about this? Governor Cuomo. Good old Governor Cuomo, who is so much wrong with Governor Cuomo. So much wrong with how he leads. So much wrong. I mean, the guy literally, remember, he's written the book here. He's written the book on how to deal with a crisis like COVID. Right? He's literally written a book about this. And arguably, I don't even know if it's arguable, probably the worst governor when you factor in what happened with nursing home deaths, and if you factor in that the numbers he was telling us, according to his own state's attorney general, is believed to be half as many actual deaths in nursing homes in his state than he was reporting. And we know what's happened with nursing home deaths in the state of New York regarding COVID. And we know that the policies of the governor's office directly, it certainly appears to have is involved with that. Meaning that forcing these nursing homes to take their patients back, even though they have a positive, COVID test that spread. It spread like wildfire in these nursing homes, killing high percentages of people, early on in this pandemic. And you know that the pushback he's gotten from the Fox News weather anchor, I guess is what you would call her, the weather anchor there at Fox News, Janice Dean. She's been all over Cuomo about this because her husband lost both of his parents precisely because of this, or that is what the allegations are. And so Cuomo's out there. Cuomo's lifted up as kind of the standard bearer, the person by the left, right? Remember, at one point in time, people were wanting Biden to pick Cuomo. Actually, some people were wanting Cuomo to somehow be the president, the Democrat presidential nominee. He was handling COVID so well. We were watching him every day at these briefings in New York City or Albany, wherever he was doing the actual briefings from. We're supposed to look at this guy with admiration and just be in awe of his leadership, the way he was showing us the graphs and charts, and the way he was dictating to people how long they could be outside, whether they could walk their dog, whether they could, go to the gym, whether they could order out, which restaurants they could eat at, that sort of thing. And so, anyway, he's far from the poster child for success in dealing with COVID, but he's unfortunately the poster child for ineptitude, candidly. He's an example of a governor who thinks that, governments can manage every single thing and control and dictate how people live. And therefore, as a result of that dictatorial behavior, these petty dictators believe that they can achieve whatever goals and objectives they set out for themselves. And it's stupid to think this, because we can see the evidence right before our very eyes. This guy's a bad governor. This guy has arguably been the worst governor at handling COVID. He is not the one who should be writing a book on how to lead through the COVID crisis. That is not really He's led through the crisis, but he's led pitifully, if you ask me. And, you have to be fair here. I mean, this was difficult and new. People could not have predicted some of these things, but some of these things they could have predicted. And when you start allegedly hiding numbers of the people who died in your nursing homes so as to make yourself and your government look better, we've got a problem there. And that's being alleged by the state's attorney general in the state of New York, who's also a Democrat. Anyway, yesterday, or was this yesterday, 2 days ago, snowstorm heading into New York. The great Governor Andrew Cuomo takes to the podium to tell his citizens, essentially, don't get out on the roads. This is dangerous. Roads are impassable. And as soon as he gosh, you can't make this stuff up. As soon as he finishes his speech, what does he do but gets in a car and drives off? He gets in a car. But I want you to listen to this. It's much like anything else they tell us. We can't not have indoor dining, or we couldn't before Biden was elected president. Of course, now we can, but you can't watch the big game, as they say in the state of California, in the bars, because that'll bring too many people out. But now indoor dining, different things are opening up because I guess Biden is at the helm and we're safe from COVID here. But Andrew Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, tells his listeners, tells his citizens in the great state of New York this. Let's try that again. Bear with me. Here we go. Let's try it again.
There. And I just drove down from Albany. I can tell you firsthand, it is seriously dangerous. And there is no reason to be out on the roads, and it's only going to get worse. The roads are dangerous all across the metropolitan area. The roads, even in Manhattan, are dangerous and impassable at points, and a lot of people are getting stuck already.
So, impassable, very dangerous. I just drove down myself, but you shouldn't be out there. All right, this is reported here in the New York Post. It says this: do as he says, not as he does. Governor Andrew Cuomo declared a state of emergency over the blizzard, urging people not to travel, then hopped in his car during the throes of a snowstorm Monday and drove himself down to the Big Apple from Albany. I want New Yorkers to hear me loud and clear. Stay home and off the roads, the governor said in a statement about his emergency declaration. He even admitted it there. I misspoke. I said he left. He declared the emergency, then drove down to New York City, then told other people, don't drive. It's terrible. I just drove roads that none of you average dopes could drive. It took me and my expert team of professionals, as the government always is, right? These are the group of folks who has all the answers for us. They know how to do things better, even drive in snowstorms. But you need to stay at home. You need to hunker down. When they say we're all in this together with COVID, they mean you're all in this together. They don't mean them. They're out having a great time. They're out living it up. They're out going out to the restaurants and eating indoors anyway, because after all, they hold the special pass. They're in the ruling class. They hold the golden ticket, if you will. They have the Diners Plus card, or whatever this is. They have the special privileges over you and I, because they are superior in every way, and that's why they should be elected our leaders, and that is why Cuomo is qualified to drive through a blizzard, but the rest of the putzes in the state of New York are not. Anyway, this is how they think. It's always comical when they're not in power, but I tell you, when they are in power, my friends, it's not so funny. I still find some humor in it, to think that this is how someone really thinks. What on earth what is one's experiences to where he or she believes this to the core of their being without even really recognizing it? He literally comes to the podium after declaring a state of emergency, telling people not to go out on the roads, don't drive, state of emergency, disaster, impassable roads, drives down from Albany to New York City, which is not a short little jaunt. gets back to the podium, tells people how terrible the roads are. Might as well have said only my team of great, superior professionals and government workers could have navigated the challenges before us. The rest of you dopes and putzes need to stay home. I probably need to head back to the state capitol. I don't know if he did or not, but he certainly drove down during it after he declared it in Albany. So timeout is in order. These jokers, again, think that they know better than you. Rules for thee and not for me. This is how they dictate. This is how they govern. This is who they are. And this is why I oppose. This is why I oppose the radical left. This is why I oppose, one of the many reasons, but this is why I oppose, why you oppose the ruling class. This is why we oppose a government that isn't for the self-governed anymore. It's to tell the rest of us, to dictate to the rest of us idiots in their minds how to live our lives, how to get through the day. So thank you, Governor Cuomo, for keeping people safe, telling them what they can and cannot do. I guess that's the appropriate way to respond in the minds of these radical leftists. But a quick timeout is in order. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Problems in the bedroom? Not that kind. Bed bugs. At Integrated Pest Control, we make sure you never have to worry about any pests in your home or business again. We are the bed bug specialists with over 20 years of combined experience. Our promise is to keep your home or business completely pest-free for 90 days, or we will retreat the area absolutely free. Visit IntegratedPestControlLLC.com or call 317-349-0094 for your free bed bug inspection.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Folks, I cannot contain the excitement over here. Oz just told me 5 minutes until Puxatawny Phil gets to tell us if there's 6 more weeks of winter or spring's right around the corner. I don't know why I find this so entertaining. I think I would like to put one of those top hats on and be a guest. Hold that groundhog up one day. I don't know why. It just entertains me. But nonetheless, we will keep you apprised as to what the groundhog says. Oh, my goodness, the things that we do. So, yesterday, snowstorm. We talked about the New York City snowstorm. What about the snowstorm in the state? Well, not the state. Although they want it to be the state of Washington, D.C. Would they call it the state of Washington, D.C. if they made it a state? That's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that in a second, too. But Biden, D.C. gets a 2-inch snowfall, a dusting of snow, as the New York Post says here. And Biden decides to work from home and cancels his speech. And the speech was just at the State Department, which is just a few blocks away from the White House. So I know we don't want to admit this, but Biden's residency currently is the White House, right? He was elected. He was inaugurated the 20th a couple of weeks ago. Still waiting, by the way. Would like to know, this is a serious question, when Joe Biden is going to cure cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. I think that's important. There's a lot of people suffering, and these are, terrible diseases, and he promised to cure them. These are the sorts of things these jokers tell us that they can do with the power of government. So I wonder when he's going to announce that. But nonetheless, we've got Biden in the White House deciding to work from home. He had a speech scheduled at the State Department. 2 inches of snow. 2 inches of snow. Calls a snow day. Says, I'm going to work from home. And, if you worked there, if I worked there, I would say, well, Mr. President, your speech is just literally, I point out the window. It's right there. It's right there. It's 2 blocks away. 3 blocks, whatever it is, a couple blocks. We can just walk over there, right? We can walk over there. I'll say this. If 2 inches of snow can prevent the Biden administration from functioning, I'm all for this. I mean, I'm totally all for this. Any sort of inconvenience stopping them from implementing their agenda, I'm good with it. Maybe there's a burst pipe in the White House. Biden has to call the day off because he's got to grab his monkey wrench and get under the sink and repair it. If he's playing with his dog again, chasing the dog and slips and sprains his ankle, has to take a couple weeks off from being president for that as well. I'm okay with this. I don't want any bad. Don't misunderstand. I don't want the president to have any harm. I don't. I know some of you, I know how it gets out there, but that's not at all what I mean. He hurt his foot, or some said broke his foot, didn't he? Did he break his foot, Oz, when he was chasing his dog's tail, supposedly? When he got out of the shower, if you believe this sort of stuff. I might be able to believe that with Biden. Anyway, these are the sorts of things. Get ready for more of this. But I do want to talk about D.C., the statehood of D.C. That is an important issue. That's something that I think Chuck Schumer's already mentioned. It's time. They've got the votes, the power to start pushing stuff like this forward. But D.C. statehood is not something that would have been in our founders' wildest dreams. D.C. is actually it was originally carved out of 2 states. It was carved out of Maryland and Virginia. The Maryland portion has gone back to Maryland, and now we've got D.C. that's carved out of Virginia. If DC needs to be a state, DC needs to be in Virginia. That's where it is. DC was carved out to be the home of our federal government. DC was carved out so that no state would have the federal government within it. They wanted the states to be equal in that sense. And you could say, well, Virginia is still surrounding it, Maryland's surrounding it on the other side. Okay, but it's not part of either of those states technically. It would be better for it to be part of either one of those states, for it to be its own thing, because then you would have the entire state of D.C. being effectively the federal government. So then you have this notion that the place where the federal government is housed, which is Washington, D.C., now we need the federal government to affect. I know that there's folks there that don't work in the federal government, but folks, there are a lot of people that do, right? But why can't the people, if we need to make sure that those folks living in D.C. Are citizens of a state, then why do we need a new one? Why can't they be part of the state that they were originally carved out of? I mean, it seems to me that this is the worst thing. What they want senators and representatives from a state that's going to be always elected to be Democrat and leftist. They voted for Biden over Trump 92, 93%, some such thing. This is the swamp. Do we really think about the senators that would be elected from the swamp? You think that Raphael Warnock is a radical? Wait to see what we would get from the swamp in Washington, D.C. This is not something the founders intended, envisioned. Washington, D.C. should never be a state. It is a place where our federal government resides. It was specifically set aside because it wasn't a state. That's why they called it a district. But folks don't know these things. You know these things, but folks don't know these things. Don't they put on the license plate in Washington, D.C., taxation without representation, I believe? I think I've seen that. Maybe it's not. Maybe I dreamed that, but I've seen this, I believe, on some of the things that, from Washington, D.C., basically say, hey, we need to be a state, calling for statehood. This is all about a power play. The Democrats' objective in this political climate is to make it as unlikely and perhaps even impossible for Republicans to ever regain power. What they experienced under President Trump caused, nightmares. It caused night terrors. Some of these folks still can't sleep. They probably wake up in the middle of the night with their picture of Biden on their coffee table just to reassure them that President Trump is not currently president of the United States. These folks have been in a hyperventilation attack. They've been hyperventilating since Trump was elected. They have a form, I'm sure they'll tell you, of PTSD. Anyway, that's the objective here. By the way, I got to take a quick time out, but I should tell you that this program is brought to you in part by our good friends at Freegee and Freegee Auctions and Marketing. In fact, they've got some auctions coming up. You can find out more about those by visiting their website, Freegee Auctioneers, F-R-E-I-J-E Auctioneers with an S.com, F-R-E-I-J-E Auctioneers.com. In fact, they've got an auction coming up. Looks like it's today. Well, it's later in the week. They're doing Sports Without Music is Just a Game combined auction. You can see some of these, some of the sports memorabilia and different things here. And they've got others coming up as well in short order. Check these out, freegeauctioneers.com. A quick timeout is in order. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Do not worry, Oz is keeping a close eye on Puxatawny Phil. No word yet if he's wearing a mask, 2 masks, a mask, goggles, and a shield. Does he wear gloves? We don't know. We will tell you all that very important information here once we see Puxatawny Phil. And we'll relay to you whether or not there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. You know, I think this is the sort of thing, by the way. You know, I say I jokingly, because it would be kind of comical to me to be up there with a big top hat with this groundhog, but I think this is the sort of thing Biden should be at. This has Biden written all over it. I think if of all the things that presidents do, like this is what the left, and in particular Biden, I think maybe excel at. The stuff that's really just for pomp and circumstance, for show, not serious. Keep them away from the from having the ability to implement policy, to come up with legislation. In fact, if we could strike a deal, I would be willing to make this deal. The left can do all the ceremonial stuff. This could be an agreement, a handshake. We'll do all the work behind the scenes. Conservatives, limited government folks, those who care about the Constitution, we'll go ahead and we'll legislate and we'll follow the Constitution and we'll make sure that we get judges in there that interpret the Constitution. You and the radical left can do all this stuff for show, right? I mean, I know that this is a big part of this. You like to be in front of the cameras like Cuomo was earlier, telling us not to drive in the snow. Well, not me, because I don't live in New York, thankfully. But Cuomo can tell all of his citizens of the state of New York to stay home as he's out buzzing around the countryside, going downtown, wherever he was, venturing a third of the way across the state or a couple of hours or whatever it is. They like to be in front of the cameras, right? They like to go up there and to show people that they're wearing their masks. That's fine. Again, I've never said to any person not to wear a mask, not to one. But they like to show you that they do. And I'm sure some of them now are going to show you that they wear 2 masks. In fact, I think I've seen that already. People wear the paper mask, and then they wear the cloth mask over the top, probably with their logo like Biden or Elect Democrats or something like that on the mask. That may be the reason, in fact. They might want to wear the first mask for protection and a form of virtue signaling as well. But then the second mask helps brand them to the rest of the world. Since we can't see who they are, in fact, I can't tell you the number of folks that I've seen out in public and I've looked and I thought, is that who that person is? I can't tell because they got a mask on. But anyway, the second mask could identify them. So if we see that they have 2 masks, we can say, it's because they're they're a Democrat or a radical leftist or whatever. Makes sense. Whatever. So that might be worth looking into. I might be willing to make that deal. You get to have all the pomp and circumstance, but conservatives, those who care about the Constitution, will actually be the ones responsible for passing the laws. By the way, you may have seen, I mentioned Fauci earlier, kind of backtracking on the second mask, or at least saying there's no data to support that. There's someone else out there, saw this reported on The Blaze, a top infectious disease expert says that double masking may actually increase the COVID infection and do, quote, more harm. Think about that. That's what he says. So, take a time out here. I was just telling him it's time to take a break. When we get back, I want to talk about the impeachment, the second impeachment of President Trump. I want to talk specifically about polling, and I want you to think during the break. What percentage of people do you think want to see Trump convicted or think that Trump should be convicted in the Senate trial? I want you to think about what that is because there's a poll giving us numbers, and I want to share that with you. So we'll do that on the other side of the break. We'll talk a little bit about impeachment. We see that Trump got rid of his original team of attorneys and is now preparing with his new team of attorneys for this impeachment trial, these shenanigans. Again, they're dramocrats, right? This is what they do. This is the political theater. This has no bearing on anything substantive. These are the folks who screamed about President Trump's tweets and President Trump being a danger and a menace to society. Now they have control. And what do they want to do? They want to do symbolic stuff. They want to do stuff. This has no bearing on reality whatsoever. Now, they do want to keep President Trump from being able to ever run again. But I think the right way to think about that is they want to keep you, for those of you who might consider voting for Trump again should he run in 2024, they want to keep you from being able to have the ability to choose which candidate you want to vote for. That's what they want to do. They're scared of you ultimately supporting someone like Trump, these ideas that threaten the establishment and the swamp and so forth. So timeout is in order. We'll talk about impeachment when we get back. Sit tight, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep. Welcome back. So what numbers, maybe you've seen this, but what numbers have you seen according to polling? And my first question is, are these polls as accurate as the polls that we saw prior to the election? That's my very first question, because if they are, you can take 5-10 points off of these, maybe more. Who knows? Who cares? I mean, in one sense, I care a lot because I think what we're being fed is a constant lie from a lot of sources that leads us to one solution, which shockingly requires us to vote Democrat and to trust our government to do something for us. They just need more time, more power, more money, and they can solve all of our problems. That's why Biden can say things like he's going to cure cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. But according to this, there's two polls, actually. One was a Marist poll released on Monday. It found that 50% of Americans, 50, believe the Senate should vote to convict Trump on the charge of, quote, incitement of insurrection. Incitement of insurrection. Meanwhile, 41% of respondents said Trump should be acquitted. I want to know how many Americans, the percentage of Americans that could define all these terms. I want to know, based upon what I've seen taught in our public education system, I want to know how many people even know what it means for Trump to be convicted in the Senate, number one. I want to know how many people can define incitement of an insurrection. I want to know this. So the trial is scheduled to begin, next week, next Monday. Another poll showed even worse numbers. A Monmouth University poll found that 56% of Americans approved of the Democrats' push to impeach Trump, while 53% said they believe he should be convicted. So I guess there's 3% of the people that say we should proceed with this, but we really shouldn't convict. I don't even know what to make of that. We should do this, but we shouldn't convict him. That's a group of people out there. Apparently 3% of Americans think that, according to this Monmouth poll. And the Marist poll was conducted, it just concluded January 27th. 1,313 people in the Marist poll. So roughly half of Americans think that President Donald J. Trump should not just be impeached. He's already been impeached twice now, which again gives them the headline, should Trump ever try to run again. This is a president who was impeached twice. No one in history was, not even Nixon was impeached twice, right? That's what they'll say. This guy's the biggest threat to our free society, whatever he gets behind. If he starts, there was originally talk of starting a third political party. Now that's cooled off, and they say that's not the case. There's talk of maybe having some sort of a network, which I tell you what, if he starts some network, Fox News is going to take it on the chin. So we'll see what happens from that. But they don't want this guy anywhere around anybody. This idea of him going to Mar-a-Lago without Twitter, without the White House podium, is very attractive to them, right? They are very happy and content with this, but not completely content, because they know that his followers, that his supporters are very, very, very much behind him still. They don't understand why. Maybe some of them do and they just don't want to admit it, but they really don't understand why. They're used to being able to destroy people, and while they certainly did a lot to impede what he was trying to do and to attack him and to malign him and to, to be effective in some circles, it was not effective with his supporters, by and large. Republicans still, we hear about this, ridiculous Lincoln Project, and they've got their own problems, by the way. Talk about a mess there from this group that preached to us how terrible Trump was, and turns out that there's a lot of allegations there that are much worse than anything they were claiming about Trump. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. I don't have time. But they can't break that bond that Trump has with the people that support him, because we connect with Trump on levels that there's nothing that they can do about that. We see the problems that they've been ignoring. We see the problems that exist in this country. We know what they are, and we know that Washington, D.C. has abdicated its responsibility to address these problems. President Trump dealt with them and did a lot of good things, and that resonated with us. He exposed the corruption, the fraud, the incompetence, the stupidity of the swamp. And that being said, I've got to take a timeout. Quick timeout is in order. Hopefully Puxatawny, I'll have something to tell you about him when I get back, but a quick timeout is in order. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and trained products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a train. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Hey, Indy. Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Folks, this program is brought to you in part by our good friends at Edwards Equipment. Edwards Equipment, located here in Central Indiana in Danville, on Main Street in Danville. And they have, folks, zero-turn mowers, farm equipment, lots of things that they can help with on the implement equipment side. Friends of this program, and if you're in need of that, want to shop, encourage you to check them out. Again, they're in Danville. EdwardsTractor.com is the address. EdwardsTractor.com, the website address, I should say. So appreciate them and other sponsors. Folks, I wish I had something to tell you about Puxatawny Phil, but apparently he's going to wait until the end of this program to come out and tell us if he sees a shadow or not. So have a great day. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.